Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Cold War Mercantile channel. And we have purchased this giant industrial complex. It was the old Buster Brown shoe factory. And we're renovating it and converting it. And I wanted to make a channel to just kind of document that process and take you guys along with me for this journey. We've got a ton of new subscriber growth, which is totally amazing. And there were several comments that I should make a video giving a little bit of context about what's going on with the channel. So I get a lot of the same questions asked again and again, and I wanted to make a video that I could pin to the top of the channel that you could watch, and in a very short time we can bring you up to speed. You'll know everything you need to know about this channel, this building, and what I'm trying to do. And speaking of subscribers, I'm not talking about millions of subscribers. Obviously, you can look down and see the numbers, but we've definitely had an uptick. And I'm not sure why that is, but I think maybe it's because there's so much controversy around this channel. So we're doing some pretty controversial things, and yeah, but more on that in just a little bit. Okay, number one, where are my manners? First things first, my name is Chris, and I don't know why, but in the comments section and when I get some of the DMs, everybody's referring to me as Jake. So I don't know what all that's about. Do I look like a Jake? No offense to you Jakes out there, but I'm not one of your kind. So anyway, the name's Chris. Number two, how much did we pay for this building? Okay, so with the exception of this little front area here, the main structure of the building is actually 3 floors high. And each floor is about 13 feet. And then with foundation and then the area up on the roof, we have a total of roughly 65 feet for the height of the building. So the actual purchase price of the building was $20,000. And I'm actually eager to share that information because it's part of our story. And as a matter of fact, it's public information anyway, because anybody can go up to the courthouse in our little town and find out, you know, what the building was acquired for. Funny story, the asking price for the building was actually $30,000. And we had just pulled up right here outside on the road, and the first thing that the realtor said was, actually, it's been dropped to $20,000. So I'm not sure that anybody wanted to take it. There were a couple of buyers that were potentially interested in it, but it didn't sell, and the building was in probate. So we actually ended up getting it for $20,000, like I said. But to say that we bought it for $20K may not be actually accurate, because there were so many things that we had to do immediately to stop, you know, the atrophy of the building. So it was a little bit more than that if you take all things considered, but we got the title for the building for $20,000. So sadly, there are buildings just like this all over the Midwest. They're basically in ruin and disrepair, and they're disappearing every day. My grandfather and I used to walk, when I was a little boy, we used to walk by this building all the time, and we'd look up in the windows and wonder what was inside there. Life is so strange. You never kind of know how things are going to turn out. It never occurred to me that one day I would actually own this building. My grandpa used to do business with the previous owner back in the day. There was a plumbing and electrical shop inside. So he'd been inside. But this building is legendary for the stuff that was packed in. As you can see from some of my videos, we go through the floors and just see all the stuff that's in there. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, definitely check out those videos. But if my grandfather was alive today, there would be no end to his amusement that I actually purchased this building. Okay, so the next one's the big one, and that is that I'm not rich. There, I said it. I'm not rich. I don't know what it is that hedge fund managers do. I don't have a bunch of financial backers. I don't have a gigantic bank account, and I'm not a trust fund baby. No offense against you trust fund babies who are watching this. The only thing I have to say to you is congratulations. But yeah, that's not me. And I could hazard a guess that 9 out of 10 or more of the people that are watching this are kind of in the same boat as me. So we're not rich, but dang it, doesn't mean we can't like dream big, right? We can't swing for the fence. And that's where the controversy comes in. So that rubs a lot of people the wrong way. And there are basically two camps of viewers that I've noticed looking through the comment section for this channel. So the first camp are the viewers who think that the premise is awesome and they're behind me and they're rooting for me and they want to see the building get renovated. And that's kind of the bulk of the viewers, and that's been totally awesome. But there is the other camp, which are the folks that think I am in way over my head. And if I don't throw a bunch of money at this building, it's going to be a disaster. And I can see that point of view too. So yeah, it could be an awesome inspirational story, and it can be a total train wreck. So I'm not shy. I'm just, being completely vulnerable, and I'm putting this out into the world, and it's going to go where it's going to go. And I think that's kind of why we've had the subscriber growth. So it's just going to be awesome to watch either way. So yeah, it's really scary for me, but I'm super stubborn person. I'm super stubborn, and I just won't quit. So I don't know if you have been to the channel before, but you can already see things are starting to turn. Wheels are turning. The building already looks a lot different than it did when the channel started. So that's a drop in the bucket to the crazy long journey that this process is going to be. So hopefully I can win you over, and you'll get on the train, and you'll be on Team Chris. But if you want to be on team building, that's okay too. The building might win. We'll see. But I think if I can actually make this work out, everybody's a winner. So. Okay. So that brings me to the next point, which is this isn't a DIY channel. If you're looking for DIY content, just move along, because I'm the last person that you want to be getting lessons about construction related matters from. So as a matter of fact, I've been asking questions to the community here on the channel, and they've actually been helping me quite a bit. So it's like a hive mind situation. But yeah, so this is the interior of the bay on the west end of the building. And if you actually are looking for a DIY channel about how to step on nails, or how to cut old sprinkler pipes out and get 6 gallons of rusty dust and water dumped down your back and make your drawers all soggy, this maybe is the right channel for you. So there is an enormous learning curve on this whole thing. I'm not a construction worker, and I'm way outside of my comfort zone. But on the flip side, I'm learning a lot every day. I've got lesson after lesson after lesson, the school of hard knocks, and I'm trying to be innovative and be a problem solver. And like I said, I'm learning a lot. And I wanted to make this channel to kind of document that process. I want to have these videos to show my son someday when he grows up. I'm 48 years old right now, and I just had a son, and he's he's going to be 20 years old, and I'm going to be 70. And I wanted to just document this journey for him. Someday he can watch it and, know me a little bit better. So, okay, enough of that sappy stuff. So if you're interested in this building, you want to check it out, you can go to Google Earth, Google Maps, Street View, and just drive by the property and check it out. The address is 10 Division Street in Charleston, Illinois. And the thing about those Google images, they could be as old as a couple years ago, so you probably won't see any of the repairs that have already happened, which is admittedly at the moment a little bit humble. You know, I've done a lot of work here, but not a lot of it is visible from the outside. So, but anyway, those pictures likely are going to predate. But you can, you know, take that street view around and check out the building and see what it looks like. Kind of get a feel for the scope of it and the scale of it. So, okay, so continuing with the whole controversy aspect of the YouTube channel, this building came with a bunch of stuff, just stuff on top of stuff on top of stuff. And as a matter of fact, the previous owner was a big fan of auctions, and he bought a lot of stuff. And the place is kind of legendary because over the years they've had multiple auctions. And in the auctions, they just pulled stuff out, and the whole community came and bought and bought and bought. And they've done it time after time after time. And the place is still full of stuff. This is slightly organized. So we spent several weeks, a couple months ago, getting ready for an auction. So a lot of it's going to go to auction because it just needs to get out of here. And any money that is raised will actually go to dumpsters and continuing on with the renovation. So, but as chaotic as that looks, it was a lot more full and a lot more disorganized earlier. I'm going to take you upstairs here and show you the third floor. And at the current position, 25% of the stuff that was in here when we started is left. So can you see that? This side has finally been cleaned out. I've got that accomplished at least. And the emptying out is continuing. We're processing all this stuff, and we're recycling, we're scrapping, we're getting dumpsters, and slowly but surely the place is getting emptied out. So the main priorities are fix the roof repairs and get the windows buttoned up, get the building buttoned up so that it doesn't atrophy further. It's a constant battle with entropy on this building. And slowly but surely we're getting there. And my very next video, as a matter of fact, is going to be what did we get for 20K? And I'm going to say the good, bad, and the ugly, and do a complete tour and let you guys know everything about the condition of the building, what needs to be addressed, and yeah, basically just show my knickers on this whole thing. So if you're interested in that, what do you get for 20K? Check out that next video. It'll be coming out here pretty soon. But back to the third floor here. When we first got it, the stuff was stacked like this. Imagine this look, right? But like head height, above your head, with very narrow walkways down each of these sides here. And that's how much stuff was here. And this has actually been reduced by more than half. So what you're seeing here is about chest height for me, and half of it has already been removed. So you can imagine how much stuff was in here. There are a couple offshoots in the building here, and yeah, this has had like desirable items pulled out of it. It wasn't stacked quite as high to begin with, but the sheer randomness of what is in this building, of what's in this building, never fails to surprise. And every time I come up here, I find stuff that I've never noticed before. And I spent hours and hours and hours going through this stuff, trying to segregate it, getting stuff out. People have purchased some stuff. And every time I move something along the wall, I find something that was hidden back there, or find something that nobody's seen because There's just too much stuff here anyway. So in terms of, you know, the idea that I'm in above my head and I'm never going to be able to, you know, get this building under control. And I would just say to the naysayers, stay tuned, because like I said, that definitely is progress, and that's going to continue, and it's going to continue, and it's going to continue. And then over here on this wing, it's going to continue. And then I'm going to go down to the second floor, and I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to have the roof fixed. And yeah, so I'm betting on myself, and we'll see where this goes. So that actually brings us to the next big question, the obvious question, which is what are my plans for this whole building? What am I actually trying to do? So I don't, unfortunately, have a great grand business scheme. I didn't like look at this and do some analysis and think, oh, I'm going to get rich if I do this and this and this. It's not really about that for me. I'm doing this because I'm interested in it and I want to do it, and it gives me satisfaction. And yeah, so I do know that I have to make smart business decisions, because otherwise I'll get derailed and it will turn into that train wreck. So what I'm focusing on is, you know, stopping the entropy in the building, stopping it from deteriorating further, make it look nicer on the outside. Nothing happens quick around here, so I should premise this whole thing with that. I want to, you know, fix up the outside of the building so I can get the windows sealed off, so I can stop in all the break-ins, and then I can have kind of a baseline to get started. Then the main thing that I want to focus on is getting the building up to code. And there's all kinds of considerations. There's the remediation of different things like lead paint and fire suppression and all of that stuff. So I have a gigantic war in front of me. It's not a battle, it's definitely a war. But yeah, I'm gonna make that video probably, I think next week sometime I'm gonna upload it, and I'm gonna talk about all of that stuff. So make sure that you check that out. Now, all that being said, it is fun to kind of dream and think about what, you know, what is in the realm of possibility. And if I'm successful with all of that stuff up to that point, then I would like to maybe rent a few spaces out here. I would love to do something with community, maybe some art spaces. There's some amazing places up on the third floor with windows all the way around. It would be great for photography. Yeah, I'd like to do that kind of thing. And then this area right here has got this wraparound windows. And it's got an overhead door there, and then we got an overhead door, let's see, way back there. And this would be great for like a little wine tasting place or something. Who knows what it could be. The one thing that I want to do for myself, and it was one of kind of the main things that helped me make the decision to go for it, to really go for it, is just on the other side here. And that's this bay right here. This bay to me is the best part of the building. It has these gigantic beams, which actually they're all throughout the building. But it's a giant industrial open space, and it is just gorgeous. Part of this YouTube channel, when I initially conceived it, was to also talk about my adventures in sourcing antiques from Europe. So I actually live in Poland. I'm married in Poland, and my wife is Polish, and I've been living over there since about 2000. And I'm really interested in antiques, and I wanted to import them here and sell them at antique shows. But when I saw this, I just knew that this is the perfect place for me to do an antique showroom. I mean, I know this is not a gigantic metropolitan area with tons of antiques customers or whatever, but it's not about that for me. I just want to have a place where I can base myself. I have a wood shop to work in back there. I can work on the antiques. I can show them off here. There are all of these amazing places to photograph the antiques. And yeah, so that's the little piece I'm holding off for myself in this whole thing. So yeah, I mean, it would be awesome to like, there's basically a mirror copy of this one, but a little bit shorter on the other side of that wall up there. And I'm gonna gut that. It's got a floating ceiling, a drop ceiling. Actually, let me take you there. So when I'm looking at this through my phone, it looks like a disaster zone. This is the result of actually all the work I've done to clean this area out over here. So you can kind of see that I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I'm getting busy. And the plan is to pull out this floating ceiling here, and then get all those little hanging wires and all that stuff out, and a significant portion of the conduit. And then I want to take off all that paneling, which is basically disintegrating and falling off anyway, and return it to the original brick. And then I'd love to put in some industrial lighting, like some gooseneck industrial lamps on each one of those columns, and then maybe some hanging lighting, all industrial, and some lights on each of these posts, and light this up, give it a new floor, maybe luxury vinyl plank flooring, or maybe concrete, I'm not sure. But then this space, even though it's kind of hard to see, will be amazing. It'll be amazing. So it could be like for small wedding receptions or something. It could be rented out as a venue for meetings or whatever. So that's for another day. Right now, I am just focused on the critical stuff: roof, windows, building appearance. And I've got the back lot, which is actually 3 acres, that I want to get under control. At that point, we can start dreaming. We can start dreaming at that point. So, okay, one of the common questions that I'm getting is, do you have help, or are you just like a single guy bumbling around trying to do all of this? And yeah, I have help. I have my family, I have friends. I can hire contractors to do stuff that I'm not able to do myself. I have several volunteers that kind of help me out. And yeah, that's not a critical problem for me at the moment. There's so much that I have to do that I can be doing myself before I'm ready to think about like contracting, before I'm ready to think about taking on an employee or employees and that kind of thing. So focused on that stuff at the moment. Long term, I am going to ramp that kind of stuff up. It will be happening. So don't worry about me. Got it all under control. So another popular question that I've heard is, why don't you get heavy equipment? You need a dump trailer, you need forklift, and yeah, I do need that stuff. But I'm juggling priorities, and so for example, I got all this roofing already purchased. I've been hustling to get it paid for, and I need about this much again, and then I'll have enough modified bitumen torch down to do the entire length of the building. But it's kind of hard sometimes to prioritize, do I need the bucket truck right now when I don't have the actual supplies to do the roof quite yet? So when I have all of that stuff and I've got enough to do the entire roof, then yeah, bucket truck is next on my list. Dump truck would be super helpful as well right now, except that I've got a 14-foot trailer. I'm gonna just put some plywood sides on it and use that, and then that'll get me by. So it's just like a juggling act, and it does slow things down. But I'm totally aware that heavy equipment is gonna make a world of difference, and I do have that in the long-term plan for the building. So I think that pretty much brings you guys up to speed. And yeah, welcome to the channel. And if you want to find out whether this is going to be a super inspirational story or a catastrophic train wreck, yeah, we're going to find out one way or another. So Stop back next week and I'll give you the complete tour of the building and I'll let you know everything about it, what we got for $20K, what the condition is on the building, and all that good stuff. So talk to you guys soon.